Hola, ¿qué tal todos? This is Profesor Pablo, and our lesson is question words. Number 1. You see these squiggly boxes around these clusters of words. It's like the brain. The brain takes like information and it clusters it together. So I like to do the same type of thing as well. First of all, let's take cuando. Cuando means when. A que hora means what time. Notice that both have an accent mark. And the accent mark words, we always put the letter that's accented in green just to point it out to you. And of course, the accent mark starts above it and goes diagonally up and off to the right. Cuando, when, a que hora, what time. If you're talking about day of the week, time, portion of the day, you'd say cuando. Esta mañana, this morning. Cuando, la semana próxima, next week. Cuando, esta mañana, this morning. Cuando, el lunes, on Monday. Cuando, el próximo fin de semana, the next weekend. A que hora literally means at what hour, but we just say what time in English. What time? Someone says, oh, you got to watch the game tonight. And someone says, what time? A que hora? A que hora es el partido? What time is the game? A que hora empieza la boda? What time does the wedding start? A que hora, what time? Talking about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 10:30? A que hora? Talking about days of the week? Cuando? Portion of the day, esta mañana, this morning, tomorrow night. ¿Cuándo es el partido? When is the game? Mañana por la noche, tomorrow night. ¿Cuándo is when? A que hora, what time? Our next cluster, quién and quiénes. They both mean who. Okay? So if you want to say who in Spanish, you have a choice to make. If you're referring to one person, you say quién. If you're referring to 2 or more people, you say quiénes. ¿Quién? ¿Quién es? You're pointing to a girl. ¿Quién es? ¿Quién es esa chica? Who is that girl? 2 boys over there, you say, who are those guys? ¿Quiénes son aquellos muchachos? ¿Quiénes son? Who are they? In English, it's who. Doesn't make any difference. Who. But in Spanish, if you're talking about a singular person, quién. If you're talking about 2 or more people, quiénes. Okay? Let's go to our next cluster. ¿Por qué and por qué no? ¿Por qué means why. ¿Por qué no means why not. That's easy. ¿Por qué? Why do you say that? ¿Por qué dices eso? Why do you say that? Why aren't we going? ¿Por qué no vamos? ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué? 2 words, accent on the E. On the E. Remember, all question words, all interrogative words have an accent mark. ¿Por qué no? Why not? Mom says, no vamos. We're not going. And you say, ¿por qué no? And mom says, porque yo digo. Because I'm saying. ¿Por qué no vamos? ¿Por qué no? Why don't you come to the party? ¿Por qué no vienes a la fiesta? ¿Por qué no vienes? Why don't you come? ¿Por qué no vienes? ¿Por qué is why? ¿Por qué no? Why not? Our next cluster, ¿dónde? ¿A dónde? Much like quién and quiénes, in English it's only one word, who. ¿Dónde and a dónde in Spanish are 2 words, obviously, but in English they're only one word. Where? Where? If you're talking about location of a person, an object, or an event, ¿dónde? Where is the party? ¿Dónde es la fiesta? Where is the wedding? ¿Dónde es la boda? Where's my money? ¿Dónde está mi dinero? Where is the book? ¿Dónde está el libro? Where are Paco and Maria? ¿Dónde están Paco y Maria? Location, ¿dónde? When you involve motion, you're going to say a dónde. Sometimes people will still use donde, but technically, like with the verb ir, to go, you want to use a dónde. Where are you going? ¿A dónde vas? It's one word. Literally it means to where are you going? Where are you going to? We know in English you don't end a sentence in a preposition, but in normal spoken language, many times people do end sentences in a preposition. At any rate, again, with the verb ir, to go, if you want to say to a friend, where are you going? ¿A dónde vas? ¿A dónde vas? Where are they going? ¿A dónde van? Where are we going? Papa, where are we going, Dad? ¿A dónde vamos, Papa? And Papa says, es una sorpresa. It's a surprise. ¿A dónde vamos? Where are we going? So two ways of saying where, donde and a dónde. Now, como, with the question marks, if someone says something to you and in English you respond, what? Like you're kind of incredulous and disbelief, you say, como? Como? Someone says something to you innocently, you don't understand it, you say, como? What? Como? Como? What? What? Como? By itself, with the accent mark, como means what? Como? Como? Now, como has two other ways of being used, as a question or an exclamation. Let's do the question first. What is his name? ¿Cómo se llama él? What is her name? ¿Cómo se llama ella? Literally, como means how. How? How does he call himself? How does she call herself? How do you do it? ¿Cómo lo haces? How do you do it? ¿Cómo lo haces? How do you know? ¿Cómo lo sabes? ¿Cómo lo sabes? How do you say that? ¿Cómo se dice? So como in a question means how. But in an exclamation with the exclamation mark, which we don't have in front here, but in an exclamation with the upside down exclamation mark, you would say como plus a verb. If you want to say like, man, does that dog bark? Ay, como grita ese perro. Como grita, or como ladra. That dog barks a lot. Como ladra. Thank you. Boy, does he shout. Como grita. Boy, does that baby cry. Goodness. Ay, Dios mío. Como llora el bebé. Como llora. Boy, does it cry. Como corre. Boy, can she run. Man, that guy never shuts up. Ay, como habla. Como habla. Man, does he talk. So let's go back over here. Como, just by itself, someone says something to you and you don't believe it and you go, what? Como? You got to be kidding me. Como? Como? Really? Como? What? Como? Como can be how in a question, like, how do you do it? Como lo haces? How do you understand that? Como lo entiendes? How do you use it? Como lo usas? How do you practice it? Como lo practicas? Como in a question is how. But in an exclamation with a verb, it's like you're emphasizing, man, como grita. That guy sure yells. Como grita. Man, she can sure explain things in a very simple way. Ay, como explica las cosas de una manera tan fácil, tan sencilla. Boy, does he run fast. Como corre rápido. Como habla. Boy, does she talk a lot. Como, with the exclamation mark, you're saying, like, man, does that dog bark. Ay, como ladra ese perro. So we have como, what? Como, what? Como is how in a question, and como in an exclamation could be you're reacting and saying like, wow, that girl can really sing. Ay, como canta. Ay, como canta. Wow, John Travolta, Saturday Night Live. Ay, como Saturday Night Fever. I don't know which it is. Ay, como baila. Man, can that guy dance. Ay, como baila. All right, we come up to the top here now. I left it for the last for a reason, because que means what in a question. Como in a question means how. Como by itself means a reactionary what? Como? Como? But que followed by a verb and or the rest of the sentence means what? Like, what did you say? ¿Qué dijiste? What did you say, sir? Señor, ¿qué dijo? What do you want, ma'am? Señora, ¿qué quiere? What happened? ¿Qué pasó? Ay, Dios mío. Goodness gracious. Ay, Dios mío. ¿Qué pasó? So, ¿qué means what in a question. ¿Por qué? Why. ¿Por qué no? Why not? ¿Cuándo? When? In terms of day of the week, next month, a point in time, right? ¿A qué hora? What time? Like what time of day? Clock. what time? ¿Quién, who, one person. ¿Quiénes, who, plural. ¿Dónde, location. ¿A dónde with the verb ir for motion. ¿A dónde vas? Where are you going? ¿Cómo? ¿Cómo? What? You're saying that you're telling somebody that you just won the lottery and that person says, ¿Cómo? ¿Ganaste la lotería? What? You won the lottery? And ¿cómo in a question means how. Like, ¿cómo se deletrea? How do you spell it? ¿Cómo se escribe? How do you write it? ¿Cómo se dice? How do you say it? ¿Cómo lo explicas? How do you explain it? And then ¿cómo with the exclamation mark, it's like you're emphasizing like, wow, John Travolta, man, that dude can dance. Ay, ¿cómo baila ese tipo? ¿Cómo baila? Right? Lady Gaga, ay, ¿cómo canta? So there are interrogatives 1, question words 1. We have them clustered because the brain's going to cluster them together because they have similar applications. ¿Qué is what in a question? ¿Por qué why? ¿Por qué no? Why not? ¿Cuándo when? ¿A qué hora? What time? ¿Quién? ¿Quiénes? Who? ¿Dónde? ¿A dónde? Where? ¿Cómo? What? ¿Cómo in a question? How? And ¿cómo with the exclamation mark is like, wow, can he ever sing? Ay, ¿cómo canta él? All interrogative words have an accent mark. So I think we're good. Let's pronounce them out one more time. ¿Qué? ¿Cuándo? ¿A qué hora? ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué no? ¿Quién? ¿Quiénes? ¿Dónde? ¿A dónde? ¿Cómo? ¿Cómo? And ¿cómo? All right, thank you very much. These are the question words. You know how to spell them. You understand the accent mark reasoning. All question words have accent marks, and you certainly can pronounce them. So make sure you add these to your memory, and we'll see you for the next lesson. Hasta la próxima lección. This is Profesor Pablo signing off. Hasta luego.